Today on Casey Nation, we take a detour from the Second Amendment and we discuss its sister, the First Amendment. During a time when we were drafting men into the military, I voluntarily joined as a Vietnam-era veteran. Everyone who joins the military at a time of peace or war understands that this is a decision that may send you back in a pine box. Serving the country in this way is the ultimate salute to the idea of freedom and democracy in America and what it stands for. Free speech being the bedrock of freedom and democracy. I watched the live stream of a Palm Beach County, Florida school board meeting on October 15, 2025. A meeting where members of the public gathered to express their displeasure over vile comments made by one board member, Mr. Edwin Ferguson. After the assassination of Charlie Kirk, whom Mr. Ferguson disagrees with, he said, quote, "I don't miss a racist bigot at that. While I'm busy saluting free speech, Mr. Ferguson salutes the idea of assassinating people exercising free speech." Others gathered at the board meeting to defend Mr. Ferguson's right to free speech, so they say, claiming that those who challenge Mr. Ferguson are somehow denying him his right to free speech. They passionately insisted that Mr. Ferguson is being denied his right to speak his mind. Again, they passionately insisted that Mr. Ferguson is being denied his right to speak his mind. I'll remind everyone that the only person in this argument that has been denied the right to speak is Charlie Kirk. Let's be clear. Those who came to protest Mr. Ferguson's support of assassinating free speech, some asked that the board condemn his actions, and some insisted he resign. Okay. Short of Mr. Ferguson resigning, if he resigned, he'd be admitting he was wrong, so don't expect it. The board should either publicly condemn and or censor Mr. Ferguson. Send a clear message to teachers and students that his conduct is not an example of leadership, and it's antithetical to democracy, and distance yourself from his unprofessional comments. Mr. Ferguson is an elected leader of his community. And in his position, he influences education and therefore the minds of impressionable children. This, in my opinion, more than anything else, is the real outrage. Don't get it twisted, Mr. Ferguson. We, the people, through free speech, determine what is right and wrong, not the government. God help us when government co-opts our right to decide what is right and wrong. The protesting of those in government who behave in this manner, particularly education, who are advocating for violence as an answer to free speech, is not just going on here in Palm Beach County. No one sought to silence Mr. Ferguson. Whether Mr. Ferguson is censored or resigns, he lives on to speak his mind. Charlie Kirk said, quote, "When people stop talking, that's when you get violence. That's when civil war happens, because you start to think the other side is so evil and they lose their humanity." Again, no one is threatening Mr. Ferguson's God-given and constitutionally protected right to free speech. In fact, some of us fought and died to protect his right. Nothing stops Mr. Ferguson from continuing to speak his mind even after censor, condemnation, or resignation. He gets to go home to his loving wife and children and exercise the freedoms that the greatest country in the history of the world afforded him. Not so for Mr. Kirk. To those passionately supporting Mr. Ferguson's vile comments, you are not defending free speech. You are encouraging the death of civil discourse and free speech. You are endorsing lawfare and warfare against those you disagree with. Yours is not a quest to defend democracy. Yours is an existential threat to free speech, the very bedrock of democracy. As a child, perhaps you found it necessary to cheat to win games. Or maybe you flipped the board when you lost. As an adult, perhaps you discovered that the only way to win is to eradicate the game we call democracy, and replace it with communism so that everyone loses equally. To Mr. Ferguson, the mature and noble thing for you to have done was to debate Mr. Kirk in person or otherwise and bring receipts for your arguments. Charlie would have welcomed you, as he did all others. Instead, you chose to endorse his assassination. I submit to you, the evidence is overwhelming. It is the left who seeks to end free speech and ultimately democracy itself. KC Nation out.